What's going on, Tight Nation? Thank you for tuning in to the Two Tone Zone. I am your host, Mr. Two Tone. And as always, we're coming with some hot fire, some great content, some actual factual, give you some stats, crack a little jokes, and we just have a good time. D Weez is still handling some business. Him and I have a great show planned for Saturday, so make sure you hit the notification bell so you know the next time we go on air. Tonight is part 2 of Let's Talk AFC South. I have a huge Jacksonville Jaguars fan. It's actually a friend of Big O Titan. He actually got me connected with this gentleman. They're friends from way back, and just so happens he's a Jags fan. He knows his stuff. He wanted to come here and share his insight and give his perspective on his team. So I'll go ahead and bring him in a minute. Go ahead and just let me click this here, and we'll bring brother in. Man, what's going on, Lil Miami Jags Fan? How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here. You know what I'm saying? It's I hate the Titans, but you know what I mean. I respect your show.
I got you, man. Hey, I was gonna ask you that question, man. If you what was your hatred level like as on a scale from 1 to 10 of the Titans, man? But we'll get to that in a second.
Okay,
but
okay.
Thank you for letting us know right off the rip where you stand. Right? Hey, I could do nothing but respect it, man. So Lil Miami Jags fan. So tell me about Lil Miami, man. Tell me about that.
Oh yeah. So the big story is it's from a little small town that I'm from in South Carolina. You know, it stemmed from a club that we had that was called Lil Miami. You know, the folks from neighboring towns would in turn say they're going to the town, which means they're coming to Lil Miami. You know what I mean? So it kind of stuck with the town. You know, we're a little live there, so you know, a lot live, a lot more live in the past than we are right now. But you know, it's definitely a nice little country town to be from for sure.
Okay, and that's South Carolina, right?
South Carolina, yep.
Okay, and you went to school at the University of Clemson?
Yeah. I graduated from Clemson in 2005. So you know, Clemson, that was the family's team. You know what I mean? So
Right.
even though I'm technically a Gators fan, so you know what I mean, I'm a Gators fan. I've been a Gators fan so since probably like I was 11 years old. But you know what I mean, I still root for Clemson because that's where I graduated from. You know, the alma mater. So you gotta kind of respect the alma mater as well. So for sure.
Right on, man. Right on. So tell me how you became a Jacksonville Jaguars fan.
Okay, so yeah,
I'm really interested on knowing how that happened.
right. So you know, I'm from South Carolina again, so it's not like a pro team there. You know, we had the Panthers, but you know that's more North Carolina than it is South Carolina. So even though they name it Carolina Panthers to kind of be for both states, but like I said, I was a Gator fan, so my favorite Gator of all time is Fred Taylor, as you can see with the Jags jersey in the
Right.
background. So when Taylor got drafted by the Jags, I just adopted the team and became a fan from that point on.
I got you, man. So that's been quite some time.
98.
Yeah, that's been quite some time. So would you rate Fred Taylor in your top 5 all-time Jacksonville Jaguars?
The top all-time Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay,
Oh yeah,
all right.
he at the top of the list.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, man. So I mean, you guys are probably last on my pecking order as far as my dislike, right? My discomfort for your organization, because it goes the Colts, Texans, then y'all.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? But just a question for you. How do you truly feel about Derrick Henry, though? I mean, you know, because I know you got respect for the city, you know, for Duval. You got respect for, you know, Jaguars in that regard. And you know, he's on godlike status out there. He's like a god out there. So there's got to be some type of level of respect for that man's talent and what he's done. You know.
Yeah, it is, man. And Derrick Henry's a you know, big time player. He actually grew up you know, right outside of Jacksonville, like you say, in Yulee, Florida, which is, you know, honestly, he grew up a Gator fan, so he technically should have been a Gator. But you know, funny story is he was in the same class as Fred Taylor's son, Kelvin Taylor. So they had already accepted Kelvin Taylor's scholarship, you know, offer that they put out to him. So we stopped recruiting Derrick Henry at that point, even though he was a Gator fan. So a lot of respect for Derrick Henry. You know, he should have been a Gator, but you know, a lot of respect for him. You know, he's been terrorizing us, you know, especially on the Thursday night games ever since he's been in the league. So
right.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, man. I'm just glad he's a Titan.
right.
You know,
for sure.
I'm glad he's one of us, man, and without a doubt, he's going to go down as one of the all-time Titan greats. especially bring home that Super Bowl, man. But I know you would disagree with that statement.
No, no. I mean, as far as like offensive players, I'm like him and Eddie George. I can't really see many offensive players above those two, in Titans history. So they're definitely two of my favorite Titans, if you could say that.
I got you, man. So just to backtrack a little bit, you're an alum of University of Clemson.
Oh yeah.
So how would you rate your excitement level as far as you guys bringing in the first round, Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne Jr.? Like how happy were you that the fact that they're part of your organization now that they're Jacksonville Jaguars?
Yeah, for sure. Like you say, I'm a Clemson grad. Honestly, you go back through the list in the history of quarterbacks that we've taken in the first round, going back to Byron Leftwich, Blaine
Right.
Gabbert, which I absolutely hated.
Right.
Trevor Lawrence is actually the only first round draft pick quarterback that we've taken that I've actually, okayed. Honestly, I thought Fields probably would be a better fit for Urban Meyer's style of offense, but I mean, Sunshine, you can't really knock anything on him. I really like him. I've grown to see him over the last 3 years, and
Right.
the heights that he's taken Clemson. He's had some good talent around him, but I mean, he can make every throw in the book, so you can't doubt him. The Travis Etienne pick, I wasn't so keen on that initially, because we had a running back that went undrafted last year that rushed for 1,000 yards. So honestly, he was the only bright spot on the team offensively. So I wasn't really keen on that at first, but it's grown on me since. So Etienne, he's a good player, and the role that they plan to use him in is more like the Alvin Kamara role. So if you can see it like that, just being a playmaker, then I understand it, in the first round especially. So I'm cool
For
with it.
sure, man, for sure. Well, real quick, man, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you haven't already, please hit that like button, subscribe to the Two Tone Zone, share with your family and friends. I got some people in the chat right now. I want to just read their comments. I got some of his family members in the show right now. I got Darrell Dennis. He's a Titans fan. Salute to you, man. Tighten up for sure. And then I got Rail Walker. Thank you for tuning in. These are family members, right?
Yeah, all family.
I got you, man, for sure. Titan Weez, man, salute to you. Tighten up. I just saw you were over there over at Chris's show, Titans in Truth. He just wrapped it up. So once again, Chris, man, great show. If you haven't already, go subscribe to his channel. He's just about, I think, 18 subscribers away from being at 1,000. So go do what you gotta do to get this man to 1,000. That way he can enjoy his success, man. Go ahead and soak in that. Rodney Dixon, salute to you. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, I have a question before it leaves my mind. Mm-hmm. So you mentioned Brian Leftwich, right?
Yeah.
He just got him a ring, right?
For sure.
Right. Leonard Fournette just got him a ring. Man, hey, you gotta be upset. I know I would be.
I am. I live in Tampa though, so I'm not really I'm not really celebrating that championship so much, because I live in the city, and I got to hear all these Bucks fans brag about it. But yeah, I'm definitely excited for Byron Leftwich. He's probably gonna be the next the next hot commodity as far as like offensive coaches, to get a head coaching job. So good to see him in that spotlight. Good for Bruce Arians for putting him on, putting really his entire staff, man. Shout out to Bruce Arians. So I don't think he get nearly enough credit for what he's done with that staff.
He doesn't, man. I can agree with that statement. As far as Brian Leftwich goes, man, he was kind of spoon fed this group.
He was.
Right.
That's true. But he called the plays though. So I mean, it still takes a lot to call plays in the league. So I got to give him credit, for that. Even though he had a stacked roster already, he called a good game, especially in the Super Bowl. He called a good game.
Oh yeah. He definitely had a good script played out, man. So hey, I'm no hater of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We have a joint practice with them coming up here soon. So I don't know, man. If you can get out there, man, go check him out, take some pictures, send it to me.
Yeah.
Try to
I'll
give me
do
some
that.
autographs or something, man.
I'll do that. I got to, I a buddy of mine that, well, one of my employees that I work with, her husband works with the Bucks in the front office, so she usually gets free tickets, and she usually passes them out. She gave me tickets to the Chiefs game last year, which
Oh
was pretty
wow.
cool. So yeah,
Hey, it's always good to have the plug, man.
yeah, always.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, so tell me a little bit more about your history with the Jacksonville Jaguars, man. Who would you say was your guys' all-time greatest quarterback, man? You guys gone through, I think probably what, less than 10, 11, you know what I mean?
seems like a
Yeah,
lot more than that, but
right. Well,
I'd probably say, the quarterback that had the most success. I'm gonna go with Mark Brunell. That was, probably outside of David Garrard, that's probably my favorite quarterback that we had in the Jag history. So,
right,
Brunell, he wasn't, he's not looked upon as like a great quarterback, but I mean he was good for the offense. I mean he's out there with Jimmy Smith and Keenan McCardell, which I don't think they get enough credit for being
right.
the wide receiver tandem that they were. But definitely Mark Brunell top, and I'll probably go Dave Garrard next.
I got
All
you,
the
man.
way.
Is Maurice Jones-Drew, is he right behind Fred Taylor for you?
He's close. Yeah, he's close. But Fred Taylor's my guy though, man. So I mean, it's not like a 1A and 1B situation. It's Fred Taylor's number one. Maurice Jones is clearly number two. Maurice Jones is clearly number two. So
I got you, man. I
if
got you.
if Fred didn't get hurt, if he didn't have so many injuries, I know that's a big if, you know what I mean. But if he didn't have so many injuries, I honestly think he would probably be like top 10 running backs of all time, easily. I think so.
Mm-hmm. I got you. I
Yeah.
understand. Um, the quarterback situation. We know Trevor Lawrence is hurt right now, which
Yeah.
is it serious or is it not?
It's just a hamstring pull, so I don't think it's serious enough to keep him out, because he made the last few days of the training, of the OTA training camp. So
Mhm.
I don't think it's as serious as more of them being precautious with the injury, not wanting to further hamstring injury, because as we all know, those hamstring injuries can linger on throughout the season,
Right.
kind of derail the season before it even starts. So yeah, just being more as a caution, keeping them out there. So I don't think it's that bad now.
I got you, man. The media might be just kind of taking it and running with it. Have something to
Yeah,
talk about. It gives me something to talk about too.
for sure.
Right.
Yeah,
So we talked about briefly Travis Etienne Jr. Being drafted in the first round.
yeah,
But y'all got a nice little quarterback running back in Robinson.
yeah.
He's nice, man. I'm not gonna lie. He's nice. He put up what, about 1,400 yards last year.
Yeah, it was about 1,100, but I mean he averaged over 4 yards a carry. So I mean that was amazing
Right.
for
That's
our
impressive,
offensive
right?
line. Right, our offensive line was horrible, and we had no quarterback play throughout the year. I mean, any time that you have to start Mike Glennon in a game, you
Mhm.
already know your quarterback situation is not good. So I mean, yeah, as far as like him, everybody keying on him because we didn't have really no quarterback to throw the ball. So, I mean, I'm really impressed with what he did last year. And again, like I said, that was why I initially didn't like the ETN pick, but I'm all for Urban Meyer. I like to see what he can do with his offense. Even though Darryl Belva is calling the plays and he's really running the show, Urban Meyer is going to put his footprint in it as well. So you'll see ETN kind of think about it maybe in like the Percy Harvin type role that he had at Florida. So you'll see a lot of that, him lining up in the backfield, him lining up in the slot. So you'll see a lot of that for sure.
I got you. Hey, Captain Trips in the comments just dropped me. He say he likes that London Jaguars hat you got on.
Yeah, it's a UK thing, our second home. So definitely, as long as we don't go there permanently, I'm okay for it. I'm all for playing a game a game or two over there. I like it.
No, I could dig it, man. I could dig it.
Yeah.
Hey, thank y'all all again for tuning in. The show just got started. It's already started on a great note. This gentleman is very knowledgeable, and I can hear and just see the passion that he has for his team, and that's the reason why Big O Titan recommended that he come on the show. The AFC South, man, we are competitors, right? But we got to do it at a classy level. We can come here and talk smack, express ourselves, but keeping it classy at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So yeah, thanks again for coming on. And hey, so look, I haven't asked you about Urban Meyer. You feel that he just needs just some time to get things clicking and get adjusted to the NFL?
I mean, if you can coach, I honestly think you can coach at any level. So part of what he's going to need to do in the NFL is he's going to need to not put his foot into everything. So he's going to need to hire good coordinators, which I like the direction that he went, with his first couple of hires. So he needs to not be just focused on offense or not just focus on defense. So if he can do that and just kind of let those guys handle the reins on what they do, then I think he can be successful because he's a good motivator. He's a good disciplinarian when he's into it. Even though those guys kind of ran him out of Florida the last couple of years he was there. But I mean, other than that, I mean, I think he'll be a good coach. And if I can trust him to stick around, I think he'll be good. He'll be a good coach for us. He'll definitely, he has a track record of turning around, programs and places that he's been. So he'll be a good fit there. He'll definitely get us to a level to where we're competing year in and year out. It's just that I don't know if he'll stick around and be around long term. But if you could think about where he's been, like Ohio State, where he was most recently, he left Coach Day in a really good situation. So even though he kind of flaked out on them as well, he left him in a really good situation, and he recommended Coach Day be hired. So I mean, yeah, he definitely knows he knows his thing. And I haven't been this excited for the team in a while. So I mean, we got a quarterback in play, which is one of the hardest things to do in the NFL game. You guys know that when you picked up Tannehill, it wasn't a sexy pick initially, but if you give him time and good running game like you guys already have, play action wise, Tannehill, he can beat just about anybody. You know what I mean? So
the most exciting thing for me with Tannehill is, the best teacher is experience, right? So he's had some experience in the playoffs. He knows, kind of the do's and the don'ts, like and what throws not to make, and maybe how to read things and assess the situation a little better, be able to handle that pressure. So he's played in some bigger games. He played in a conference championship game. We fell short against the Chiefs, but that experience is going to be that teacher, right? Us getting knocked out by the sorry Rams, last year, that right there is experience, and hopefully that's fuel to him. So, like I said, it wasn't a sexy pick at first. I was on the Mariota train, quite frankly, I still am. I got a lot of respect for Mariota still till this day, but we had to do what we had to do as a franchise. And I respect and trust the process with John Robinson and Mike Vrabel, man.
Yeah, and the thing about Tannehill, a lot of people don't know. He hasn't been a quarterback long. You think about his Texas A&M days. He was a wide receiver until his junior year, and then he switched to quarterback. So I don't think the Dolphins gave him enough time to kind of get used to the position. Especially picking him in the first round. So definitely, I thought it was a pretty good pickup for you guys at the time, for sure.
Yeah, man, cool. Hey, so Big Old Time was telling me earlier that you do some mock draft stuff, man. He said, like, you're the guru with that, man. Tell me a little bit about that. Tell the folks.
Yeah, I don't know about guru, man, but what we try to do is we try to find a fan for each of the teams, and we basically just all get together one day on Facebook, and if you're a fan of the team, then we simulate a draft essentially. So when your time is up, you draft, you do a little write up, you put a picture up of the person you're drafting. So just gives everybody honestly, I started it to kind of gear people up to get more excited about the draft, which who needs to be excited about the draft. But I mean, it's definitely, we usually do it a couple of days before the draft. And definitely been a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. Like speaking of the mock draft, one of my buddies, I see him in there, Young Sticks. We had a mock draft, and he's a Giants fan. So a couple years ago, we were doing a mock draft, and he drafted Derrick Henry in the top 10, and everybody ragged him about that pick. But honestly, he's looking like a smart man right now, because everybody we looking back on that draft, we like, yo, everybody should have took Derrick Henry in the top 10.
Right.
You think about it, right?
Yeah, a lot of people, man, they kicking themselves in the butt, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Shane Loki, man, thanks for tuning in. He's got a question for you. He said, "Do you think Meyer will last with all his health problems? That's the reason why he left his last couple of jobs."
I mean, that's the thing. That's kind of the wild card. I mean, he used the idea of health problems as kind of like a way to get out of the job. I don't think that was necessarily the sole reason why he was leaving the job. His health issues were, I think more dealing with stress than anything. So I think that's more along the lines of why he left. This is just me. I'm not a shrink. I'm not a doctor or anything. But this is
Right.
this is just my opinion on why I think he left. It has something to do with health problems, but I don't think it was everything to do. I think it was more, stress related health problems that he was dealing with. So, like I said before, I don't necessarily trust him to stick around. So I don't think he's going to be, the coach for like the next 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he'll stick around long enough to be able to kind of get us in a situation where we're competitive before he leaves out.
Sure. Okay, man. That's a great answer.
Yeah.
Great answer. Great question. Hey, Rodney Dixon's back in here again. Salute to you, my man. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in again. Manny Z, tighten up to you as well. Hey, let's address the Tim Tebow situation. I haven't actually came to my actual conclusion if he's going to make the team or not. Man, what do you think? You think he's going to make the team? Or is he a sideshow attraction? Like, what is he? Like, what's going on?
I think it's just a sideshow attraction. I mean, honestly, he's never played tight end position before. He's a long shot to make the roster. Just hearing the reports and everything, it's like a couple of guys we brought in to be blocking tight ends, not even receiving tight ends. They're doing better than him in camp. So I mean, I think it's just a sideshow. I mean, it's Urban Meyer giving this guy a shot. You know what I mean? So I mean, I don't have anything with that. What I think should have got the most headline is Urban Meyer hiring the strength and conditioning coach. Now that the first guy he hired from Iowa. Now that is what we should be talking about. As opposed to him hiring or giving Tim Tebow a chance. So I mean that was a questionable hire. I don't think giving Tebow a chance is as questionable as that though. Sure.
Okay. Man. Okay. That answer is for me. Hey, so y'all picked up Shaquille Griffin, right?
Yes.
Miles Jack's returning. You got Malcolm Brown, man. Who's going to be your dark horse on defense? Who's going to be the guy that steps up, sets the tempo? He leads not only by example, but he's a vocal leader, right? Guy that demands excellence, holds guy accountable. Takes the younger players underneath his wing. I mean, because y'all got a lot of youth right now. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of new faces. There's not a lot of cohesiveness going on, man. So who do you think is going to be the person that's going to shine on defense and bring it all together, if that could happen? I had to throw that jab in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No worries. I think honestly, I think probably who's going to be the most surprising player next year is going to be a healthy Josh Allen. So he had a good rookie season. He came in kind of like a reserve role and had 10 sacks as a rookie, which is really good. But he got banged up early in the season last year. Mm-hmm. So I think Josh Allen's probably going to be that guy that's going to step up. He's already hearing reports that he's being more vocal, and with the defense and the setup, he's going to be a little more outside linebacker with Joe Cullen's defense that he's bringing in, which is he was a defensive line coach in Baltimore, so it's going to be more of that 3-4 attacking type of defense. And the outside linebackers, as we know, they're the guys that tend to get the most sacks, the most pressure on the quarterback. So I think he's going to have a big year, and feeding off of that, with him stepping it up, I think Caleb Vaughn Chason is going to have a bigger year than he did as a rookie. But yeah, Josh Allen is definitely that guy. Miles Jack, he's consistent, so he's going to be good. He's going to be what he brings to the table. Sideline to sideline linebacker. But it's going to be Josh Allen that's going to surprise people, I think, this year.
I got you. I also have another question for you, man. I'm sorry, I just keep throwing them at you. I really just want to know. I mean, because I'm a coach myself. You know what I mean? I coach some basketball. trying to get to coaching football. But I'm really curious to know about Avery Jones. You know, he was with you guys for quite some time, right? Almost 7-8 seasons, and we picked him up. He's now a Titan, trying to make our roster. Give me some perspective. Give me some background on Avery Jones, man. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are.
I like him, honestly. I was hoping we keep him around, you know, especially with going to this 3-4 type defense. He's an all effort player, so I mean he's going to give you everything he has the entire time that he's out there. So, you know, if you're looking for somebody that's chasing down, you know, the running back on the backside, you know, this is gonna be your guy, man. He fights all blocks. He can rush the passer coming from, you know, 3 technique inside. He's strong as an ox. So I mean, yeah, you guys are gonna like him. He's gonna give you some effort, you know.
Right, and that's the things you don't see on the stat sheet, right? You don't see that, and I look at his numbers. I'm like, man, he's not a sack artist.
Yeah,
he's not in there causing havoc, but you know, there's certain things that you got to go in there and do. That's disrupt,
right?
You know, fill those holes. You know what I mean, and just have a knack for the football, and to like I say, and cause havoc and cause disruption. So, man, that makes me feel a little better, man. I think he will be utilized within our defense. You know what I'm saying? I think his veteran presence, and then like I say, experience is the best teacher, and he's a veteran, so he's gonna be able to teach. You know, Jeffrey Simmons, you know, and he might gel well with Danico Autry, just putting that pressure on that quarterback, because you and I both know as football fans, it starts up front on both sides of the ball. So
yeah, and that's one of the things I'm most excited about Urban Meyer about. He realizes, you know, in the trenches, that's where the games are won. So you know, he has a lot of good specialists. You know, he'll have you know, people that he can get the ball in their hands, but he realizes it starts up front. So you know, I love that about Urban Meyer. But yeah, but Aubrey Jones for sure, he'll be a good player. Probably don't want him as a starter, you know, like an every down type player. But you know, when you bring him in to relieve the starters, this is the kind of guy you want to come in, you know, to relieve him that doesn't let up the slack. You know what I mean? So
we don't need him to get significant snap. You know, just go in there and do what you do, hold things down. You know, I like that for sure.
Yeah, and you think back to like the 2017 team, you know, the team that went to the AFC Championship game. A lot of people don't know. Yeah, he played a look. We got cheated. I ain't gonna talk about that. That's a whole. That's a whole hour segment there.
If you feel you got cheated in that game, then I'm gonna say I felt like we got cheated in the game against Kansas City. There was a couple calls that were questionable.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna use that, I'm gonna say it too.
Yeah. You got a valid point too, though. You got a valid point, but you know we all know the recipe for the Patriots, man. So you know we gonna talk about that though. Like I said, that could take up a whole hour on the segment.
Right.
But yeah, going back to that team, Aubrey Jones, like, you know, a lot of people don't know he got a lot of burn with that team. So when Calais Campbell would go out of the game, you know, Marcel Darius, when they would go out of the game, Aubrey Jones was the guy coming in, picking up the slack and not letting out. So, you know, that definitely was probably his best season as a Jag, even though it may not show up stat wise. That was probably his best season.
Right. Well, man, I mean, I got some good news for you, man. Actually, some great news. You know, you're not going to have to play Derrick Henry on primetime football this year. So, you know, don't have to worry about no history being made, you know.
Right.
No 99 yard breaking off. So that's good news for you. I thought I'd let you know, throw another cat at your direction. You know what I'm saying? Hey, MT Esquire, man, that's the homie ENT's brother, man. Thank you for tuning in again. Man, speaking of which, man, I think I hear a knock at the door, man. Did you hear that? Oh no, let's see. Somebody who at the two-tone zone, man. What's going on, Ian? I can't hear you, bro.
Thank you, muted.
My bad about that. What's good, brothers? How y'all doing?
Good.
We're good, man. We're just in here talking at AFC South Talk. He was giving me some perspective and some inside knowledge.
I was listening a little bit. Yeah, he was bringing it.
Yeah, he's bringing the knowledge on the Jaguars, man. So I mean, it's not like I'm about to go back and tell nobody what's going on. we're just fans, right? We're just fans.
Right.
Just fans.
Yeah, just have a good time, man. But how you doing, man?
Man, I'm good, man. I can't complain. You know, everything is good or whatever. I got the day off tomorrow for Juneteenth. They sent the email out about an hour ago. Said we off for the Juneteenth. So
isn't it great that they're finally acknowledging that day?
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely it's a long time coming. It's way overdue.
Right.
For sure.
Glad I have it off as well. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Facts, man. Hey, talk about a little acknowledgement, man. You hit me up yesterday. You had some news to share about Eddie George, man. Go ahead and tell the folks what's going on with Eddie George, bro.
Yeah. So, I guess Tennessee State announced the football, pretty much the football staff, the coaching staff under Eddie George. He has Hugh Jackson as his offensive coordinator, as you all know, former NFL coach and assistant within the NFL ranks. And speaking of Hugh Jackson, I think he's a hell of a he's a great, awesome coach. What he did with the Raiders, he took them 8-8. Even what he did with Cleveland, did some great things when he was the coach there. So I'm thinking he'll do good as the offensive coordinator there. And they also have Jeff Fisher's son as a defensive coordinator. His name is Brandon Fisher. He played football locally there in Nashville. So definitely he's going to bring the heat. And of course, got a couple of like former players and former coaches out of the NFL that's also bringing up the back end, like for special teams and offensive line, and I also believe for the defensive line. So definitely, like I was telling the other night, hopefully bringing those kind of caliber type coaches in definitely brings some prestige back to the football program there at TSU.
No, for sure, man. Okay, man. Hey, salute to Eddie George, man. What he's gonna do?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Are you gonna try to catch any games, man?
No, I probably won't go on any live games, but I definitely catch on it through the internet or whatnot, or get the notifications. But definitely will do that. But I probably won't be able to go to any live games this season.
For sure.
I hate it. But duty calls.
Right. I know both of y'all probably heard games are going to be like full capacity. And then the NFL announced some new protocols health-wise with C-19, man. What are your guys' thoughts on that, man? Is that going to obviously they got to uphold those rules and regulations and be compliant with it. But do you guys feel that it's going to cause a drift between like player connection, unity, and being able to gel and being in the same facility? Like, how is that going to work, man? Because a lot of guys are against getting the vaccination. You know what I mean? And everybody has their own right, and they're entitled to the choices that they want to make and what they want to put in their bodies, man. Do you feel like that's going to cause a drift? I'll start with you, Ian.
Just listen a little bit to what Vrabel was saying today in his presser. It doesn't sound like that was a big issue, but we all know Vrabel definitely keep things close to the chest, so he's not going to reveal anything one way or the other. But I think for the most part, just my personal opinion, I think most players will probably make a business decision about it in one way or the other, especially once they see maybe how protocols are dished out. It may be have a change of mind if they're on the fence of getting vaccinated or whatever. But it's definitely the protocols that they put out definitely left the players and even the coaches to make some business decisions. Because I think it also affects like their social media presence and even like some of their endorsements as well, things of that nature. So it's definitely something I think down the line, just kind of on a wait and see mode about far as how that will cause a rift. But I don't think that will cause a rift like initially. Just more so just kind of seeing what players, seeing how the protocols get laid out and seeing, if they have to make a business decision or not. But I don't think it's going to be like anything drastic as far as like a divide. Because I think at the end of the day, if you want to be there, you'll do pretty much whatever it is you have to do to be sure that, the goals get set forth.
Right.
Yeah, I don't feel it's going to cause a rift either. I think for the most part, players, like a little bit of what Ian was saying, players are going to do what they have to do to kind of protect themselves, so whether that's, continue to wear masks, whether that's, being vaccinated. I don't think initially that it's going to cause a rift. Now, the real, telltale sign of this is going to be when we do have a team, or if we do have a team that has an outbreak, then, that's going to start causing a rift for the other teams amongst the league. And I don't think, not until we get to that point where there's kind of, a situation where a team had to forfeit a game because of this, that, that's going to cause a rift. But as of right now, I think they're going to kind of, a little bit trust the NFL and
Right.
the protocols that they're putting out there, because it worked for the most part last year. Even though they're kind of changing it a little bit with the protocols, it worked for the most part last year. And I think most of the players are going to kind of trust the NFL. And like I said, until we get that situation that a team has to go to the practice squad for five or six players, before
Right.
they play a game. Right.
Yep.
Hey, you gotta make it do what it do, man.
Right.
Hey, I know, Ian, man. I know you've been itching to ask his brother a question about the quarterback situation in Jacksonville, man. So I'll go and let you go and do that, brother.
Yeah. So I was in these Twitter streets, and I saw a tweet from a local, I guess one of the local ESPN reporters covering the Jaguars, and he was stating that you all's passing coordinator Brian Schottenheimer was stating that the quarterback situation there is pretty much is open, so it's pretty much anyone's job to have. So just kind of want to know what's your take on it. Is that just fluff, or that's pretty much like some substantial, something to look at?
Yep. I follow everybody closely. You really have to listen to Urban Meyer because he honestly has the final say. So I tend to listen to more news from him than coming from like Schottenheimer, and that's 1,000% fluff, guy. Trevor Lawrence is going to be the starting quarterback. At the first preseason game, at the first actual game, barring any injuries. Trevor Lawrence is going to be the guy. And then you got to think, they're talking about possibly putting Minshew on the block. So if he has a chance to be the starter, that drives his value up a little bit. So I don't think they want to come out and say it just off the bat, but 1,000% Trevor Lawrence is going to be the guy. First preseason game, first game of the season.
Okay.
If it were me personally, like I know the type of background Trevor Lawrence has, man. He's a pedigree, man. He wins, right? He's thoroughbred. He's a winner.
Yeah, definitely.
I get it. But I'm making this man work for his position. I'm making it a competition. May the best player play. You know what I'm saying? Right. And if Minshew just happened to make some noise, I'm gonna run with Minshew. You know what I mean? I want to go with the quarterback who's gonna put us in the best position to win. And yeah, Trevor Lawrence has been known to win, but the NFL is a totally different ball game.
It is.
He very well could be a bust. I mean, I know that might be blasphemy for you to hear me say that, but he very well could be a bust because every player is a risk. When you draft a player, you taking a risk, you're gambling, right?
Especially top 10 first round mostly. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So but, there's some high expectations there, and he's definitely risen to the occasion in college. But the NFL is a whole different ball game. These cats are stronger, they're faster, they're smarter, and they're playing to make a living. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and to be able to be part of an organization, the NFL. That's a tough task, man. These guys are competing, so I don't know. I wouldn't just hand it to him personally. Me personally, I wouldn't hand it to him.
I feel you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, kind of like, I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted with that because it's like I've noticed back in the 90s and 80s beforehand, like a lot of rookies they weren't coming in starting. Mm-hmm. They worked pretty much worked their way up into the starting role. And I think, to be honest, like a lot of those guys were pretty successful in doing that instead of just being thrown out to the wolves. Like, to me personally, I think that was a lot of even Mariota's issue. Like, I think he was pretty much thrown out there. I mean, even though he did well that first game against Tampa in 2015, but I mean, he had a lot of ups and downs that I think that he probably could have had a better stronghold on the position. Maybe if he would have sat out a year or two. Because you think about like Aaron Rodgers, he was on Brett Favre.
He couldn't. They were looking for a savior.
Yeah, I know.
I know Jacksonville's looking for a savior right now, but I mean, let's just get back to last. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. I didn't mean to cut you off. No. But let's get back to last year. So I know you watched every game last year, right? As a Jags fan, you guys competed in all but 2 or 3 games last year, games that you could have won. You know what I mean? So, but by no stretch of the imagination, like you guys were able to start strong, but you couldn't finish strong. You know what I'm saying? And and a lot of things didn't go your guys' way. So I mean, I don't know. I just think I think is this your brother, your cousin, and Tavis Dennis right here?
Yeah, that's my brother.
That's bro. Okay, what's up, bro? Thank you for tuning in, man. Thank you for tuning in. He says you don't draft Trevor. I mean, hey, I know, like I said, I was making a bold statement right there, but he hasn't proved anything in the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Minshew, he was thrown into the fire. He just like, hey, go out there and make it happen. He couldn't stay healthy, but he has some magic going, right? And it was that momentum that you guys are riding off of. And if he's and I don't know, I'm conflicted by it. I mean, I'm trying to pay attention because I really want to know so I can be able to assess the situation as a fan.
Yeah, I personally I think, you know, when you say Trevor Lawrence hasn't proven anything in NFL level, I agree with that, but we also don't know what we can get from him. With Minshew, you know, I think Minshew is at best a high level backup, you know, like that's his best, you know, projection of any good situation that you can put him in. He's somebody that can fill in for a starter, you know, for a long stretch. That's all you can hope for with a good backup quarterback. So I think at best he's proven that that's what he can do. You know, he can come in and win you some games, but he can't carry you throughout a season. And that part of it, we already know that's what we're going to get from him. You know, that's why I say, you know, you got to go with the young guy. Not just that as well. You want to show confidence in the young guy. You want to show, you know, that the organization is behind him. You know, that he won't just go out here and mess up and then, you know, give him the hook. You know what I mean? So I think that plays a lot into it as well.
All right. What are your thoughts? Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Everything he's saying is he's making some valid points. But you know, I get, you know, like I said with Trevor Lawrence and with the Jaguars, I know you guys are, you know, probably looking for someone that could kind of come in and you can build a team around. Because let's be honest, half of the battle with a good football team is having a decent quarterback.
Right.
And you know, a lot of times when you go, you know, having 2 or 3, 4-star quarterbacks over, you know, course of 4 or 5 years, after a while, it's like, you know, we have to find someone that could kind of come in and get it going. So I definitely understand, but I just guess for me, sometimes it's almost like anybody with a new job. You know, you don't come in first day and, you know, you already shift leader. Sometimes it's good to you know, to kind of just put your toe in the water a little bit, and then after a while, you know, you can definitely start to paddle. But
see, I think, you know, the difference, like you mentioned Mariota. See, Mariota was coming from, you know, kind of a wide open style offense until, like, you know, something that kind of trying to stick, you know, a square peg into a round circle, as they say. So I think that probably would have taken him a little bit longer to kind of get adjusted to that. Whereas I think Trevor Lawrence can honestly fit into any offense, whether, you know, it's pro style offense or, you know, the type of offense that we ran at Clemson. You know, kind of his last couple of years, we kind of gave him the reins a little bit, and he, you know, he got to call a little bit of plays, make a little bit of, you know, the audibles and the changes there. So I think he can handle that. Again, it's a different story once you get out there on the field. So we'll see how that goes. But, you know, I think, you know, it's a little bit different situation than Mariota, because I think, you know, Mariota came from being like the option style quarterback, you know, to trying to play an NFL style.
Yeah, I agree.
So let's transition into Tennessee Titans Jaguars history. Who's our biggest rival? Would you say, Ian, in the AFC South? Who's our biggest rival?
I'm sorry,
Who's our biggest rival in the AFC South?
Oh, it's Indianapolis.
The Colts
right now. The Colts are right now. Like I was telling you the other night. The Jaguars to me are up and coming. I don't see them.
Right.
No offense, but I don't see them as a serious threat.
I guess
this year.
I guess I was a little vague. I mean, just overall, our all-time biggest rival. Like, I guess from like transitioning from this AFC Central days, you still say it's the Colts.
Yeah, I still think it's the Colts. Yeah, I still think
I would agree
even though the Colts have had an upper hand historically in the division, I still think far as like just the get up for the games, I think definitely Indianapolis. But Jacksonville is definitely a close second, especially going back to the early AFC South, the AFC Central days. For sure. Yeah.
Right. We've had some battles, man. In the AFC Central days, that was when the Baltimore Ravens used to be in our division.
Right.
Man, those were some battles.
Ravens,
too.
The Steelers. Yeah.
Hey, so Who would you say the Jags' biggest rival is of franchise history? Biggest rival?
Like total history, I would probably say the Titans, but I understand why you guys don't say it's the Jaguars, because we've been so bad for so long. Like you don't really get up for those games because like I'm looking back through the history, like even recent history, you guys have won 7 of the last 9 games, so that's not something that you necessarily get up for. Whereas the
Right.
Colts, you guys are kind of back and forth with the Colts a little bit there, so.
Exactly.
That's I can understand that for sure, but the Titans, that I would say definitely the biggest rival. I think back to 2 dates. You guys may not remember this, but I remember it vividly and clearly. I think back to January the 23rd of 2000, which was the 1999 AFC Championship game.
Game.
Right.
So right. They say it's hard to beat a team 3 times, and you guys beat us 3 times in a year, even though we were up 14 to 10 at halftime. So that's one date, and then another date that you guys are probably a lot of people don't think of is 4/28/2011, which was the 2011 draft. You guys drafted Jake Locker in the top 10, which forced us to draft Blaine Gabbert. So that's a lot of dealing into a lot of the hate that I have for the Titans. You guys drafted Jake Locker, and you should have drafted Gabbert. We didn't have to draft Gabbert, and then the next pick after us was J.J. Watt, who was a Hall of Famer.
I got you.
Right?
Yeah. We stood in our way, but hey, it came back to us though, because Blaine Gabbert was actually our quarterback for a little bit.
It came back. But I have no comment about Jake Locker. I have no comment about that guy.
Right. He was just as bad as Blaine Gabbert. That was the worst quarterback in team history for sure.
Well, I just think with us, like we just dominate that series between y'all. It's 32 wins for us, 21's 32 and 21 against you guys.
Right.
So we just pretty much dominated that series, man. But like I said, like much respect here, to the organization, man. You're like,
definitely.
You guys are classy, man. You guys always keep it classy, man, and you guys always have talent there. And that time, when Calais Campbell was there, when y'all had Saxonville, man, y'all was a scary team, and like we both agree on, we were cheated out of games in the AFC title game, but at the end of the day, we blew it. We both blew it, right? And those are the opportunities that you have to take advantage of in order to solidify yourself as a top dog in the league, right? That's all that matters. Winning, being able to win when it matters.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
And as you can see, we were at the AFC Championship game in 2017, and we haven't been back to the playoffs. Actually, we had losing records ever since then. So it can change just like that. And that team is dismantled. We don't have like maybe 3 or 4 players from that team still on the actual team, which is unheard of. But definitely,
I got you. Let me read this comment. Shane Loki says, in the South it's Indy, but the NFL overall it's the Ravens. As far as our
and I'll say the Steelers too for a close second after the Ravens.
Right. So so before we went live, we were just talking about the Steelers, man. The Steelers, man, they've been a thorn in our side for a long time. Long time, and I can't stand them. But this brother made a great point. He said the Steelers, they run a fine operation. They run a smooth operation. It's consistent. They keep talent in there. They preach longevity culture. So from the Cowher days, till Mike Tomlin, like they've maintained to be competitive. Even in the season before last, they were competitive without Big Ben. They try to find some way to muster some things up in Heinz Field. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I like to play the wordplay.
Right. For sure. Hey, bro says Mr. Two-Tone, we are sticking with the play action since our offensive coordinator is gone. And if we do you think it's going to be better or not? Please don't look at the personnel. Hey, look, so to answer, I'm just going to say, y'all got personnel over there. There's talent in that locker room for the Jaguars. Wouldn't you agree, bro? There's talent in there.
He's a Titans fan, though. He's a Titans fan.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
My bad. I thought he was
good.
I don't get it.
Okay. Well, let me go. We'll go back there. At the end of the day, we're gonna stick with the play action because that's what works, and the run game is gonna open up the passing game. So definitely, we're gonna have that run heavy approach. you know, and we're going to be able to just balance it out. I don't expect a whole lot, but we got the weapons, and to deviate away from our approach that we had success with would be kind of silly. Todd Downing was talking about in a press report. You know, he's not trying to have a Todd Downing offense.
Yeah,
he's trying to have a Titans offense,
yeah.
Which for me he was kind of deflecting the question. He was like, "No, because I said it was a Tennessee Titans defense, not mine. So if we fail, it's on the Titans. Nah, but it's on you if you fail." I think he tried to deflect that, but he's going to put his own spin on things, and I'm sticking with the play action. I'm sticking with what works, and then utilizing Julio to his strengths. You know what I mean? Which is a variety of ability out there. He opens up the playbook so much. I hope that answers your question. How would you answer that, Ian?
So I wish I had the numbers in front of me, but Tannehill did just as well in play action plays that he did compared to play action plays. So I really don't understand like why people just pretty much pigeonhole him just to being a play action quarterback, to where he's done very well in non-play action plays. He has an arm, he has legs, but you know, I feel as if even with the play action gone, like he can definitely get the ball down the field. And like you said, we have now Julio, we have of course AJ, you got Ferkser. You got some weapons behind. Even like I said, Derrickson Evans out the backfield can catch. Right. So I mean, you have guys, legitimate guys that can make it happen for him. So yeah, definitely, he can definitely make it happen without the play action for sure.
Yeah, I think so, and he's striving to get better, and I really hope so. We just wrapped up camp today. We won't be getting back till I think July 27th.
Yep.
But I really truly hope that these guys are, you know, while they're away, I hope they're close. You know what I'm saying? I hope they're doing something to gel, to build a relationship. I know they're all pros and they handle themselves very professionally and accordingly, right? But I would just really hope that, you know, that collegiate culture they were talking about, how they're like guys are just having fun and there's camaraderie. I really hope they can carry that on during this little break, and I hope they can link up and continue to dive into that playbook and just truly just kick it, right?
Yep, and I have the numbers here too.
Okay, spit them out, man. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So without play action, he's completed over 68% of his pass attempts for 21 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. So that right there should let you know that he's more than capable of playing without play action.
Yeah, the thing is you guys' run game is so good that you don't necessarily need to play action on every play, because it's the fear of the run on every play that teams are still stacking the box. I mean, it you know, he can look good, you know, outside of play action because people are still gearing up for the run, which you guys do really well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Darrell also has a question too. We'll go ahead and answer that. Who's our tight end this year? I mean, of course, it's going to be Ferkser, of course, until we end up making, you know, another move, which could happen. You know, we just got to be patient, trust the process, you know, and just let things pan out, because there's still a lot of time. There's a lot of off-season stuff that's going to happen, and just things are just going to kind of just come around full circle. If we get Zach Ertz, that'd be great, but right now that's wishful thinking. Let's just focus in-house and I think just trust what J-Rob's doing, you know, behind closed doors.
And First has been a great tight end for us. His blocking is not as great as Janu's, but as far as his pass catching capabilities, I don't think he had very minimal drops. So
folks were nervous yesterday because he was dropping some balls. I guess he didn't look prepared. But you know, every dog has his day, man. You're not gonna be able to catch every pass. You're gonna be off a little bit, and we don't know like how heavy he's been, you know, training. You know, he could have been working on something else. He could have just had an off day. You know, everybody's gonna have an off day. You can't win them all. So I think we should just calm down and be patient. But yeah, he's proven to be able to make plays and extend plays for us. So I'm rocking with that. Let's get into some of the comments here.
You guys can have Tebow after we cut him.
No, we're good, man.
Nah, we all right. We're good.
He might go try to play lacrosse or rugby after this. I don't know.
He's got too many chances in life.
Titans Rossi says, I feel like Tannehill is going to have a breakthrough year in the playoffs. I mean, I don't doubt that one bit. I don't doubt that one bit. He's got a lot to prove. especially the Titans fans. And
if we hear the noise, he hears it. So
right. Shane agrees with you on that one. Mr. Titans Rossi. He's gonna take it to the next level. I agree with you. Hey, Titan Anderson's in the building. Salute to you, bro. He said, "What's up?" He said, "What's up, everyone?" Two Tone Zone, 14 subs from 3K. I'm gonna set up a special live stream once I hit it. Saturday, my hiatus ends. Right on, man. Hey, we miss you, man. Get your, hey, you look good, feel good, man. So salute to you and all the progress you made, and we're looking forward to that show. Keep me in the loop. TA is a good dude, man. And Titans Rossi says, they say Firkser usually catches everything. I mean, hey, like I say, he probably just had an off day. Maybe he had a new pair of gloves or something. He was trying something new. Who knows? Hey, so Ian, let's get back to the Jags, man. What are your predictions in the South, man? Who's gonna win the AFC South this year?
I have the Titans win the AFC South at either 13-4, 12-5.
Okay.
I have the Colts next, then it'll be Jaguars and the Texans last.
Okay. I knew the answer. I knew your answer, but I wanted to ask you again so that way he knew, because I'm going to ask him the next question. So who do you think is going to win the South this year? And I have another question for you after that, but go ahead and let me know how you feel.
Honestly, it's going to come down to you and the Colts. I don't think we're at the level where we're ready to compete for a conference or championship or division championship. We're probably like a year off, so I say we probably end up being solid this year. I'm saying like 10-7, something like that. Just having a winning record is mostly what I'm looking forward to this year. But it depends on the development of Carson Wentz. If he can get back to the Carson Wentz when Frank Reich had him in Philly, then I think they're definitely going to compete with you guys for the AFC South championship. So it's going to come down to that. If we can get Carson Wentz back to the level he was with Frank Reich, I think they can win the championship. If not, then you guys are definitely AFC South champion.
I got you, man. I mean, I feel I'm in agreement with you. If it's not us, it's going to be the Colts.
Yeah.
Hey, Frank Reich is the Carson Wentz whisperer. So
right.
he might be able to bring the best out of him, and I sure hope that's not the outcome of the situation. But we're gonna give them hell. I think we're gonna end up 5-1 in the South. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
And for you guys, man, like I said, I got respect for the organization, and I just feel like it's a rebuild year for you guys, and not to expect too much out of it, but try to ride that momentum. You know what I mean? With a new team, new coach, and just building that whole new culture in the locker room. That can be a beautiful thing to watch as a fan. I know as a coach, as just a fan of football, I know I love when my guys come together. We rally together, and we make things happen. Whether that's winning or losing. When guys are able to hold each other accountable and just grow. That's a beautiful, man. That's like a priceless Picasso painting right there. When something like that happens, you know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah. Hey, what else is going on in Titans news? Ian, what else you got, bro?
Yeah. As you all know, they finished up with the mini camp today. Vrabel did about a 20-minute presser with the media there. One thing that stood out for me in regards to the mini camp is just seeing how acclimated Jack Rabbit, Janoris Jenkins, is with the defense. Also, even the backup quarterback situation. I've heard great reviews about Deshaun Kaiser. I know in Cleveland he was, kind of, didn't do the best, but say he's been doing pretty well in minicamp, Kaiser. So that might be a potential QB number 2. He might be taking over Logan's spot down the line.
Oh man, hey, I'm hoping they bring somebody else in too, man. I hope they're planning ahead, like, God forbid, knock on wood, but we got to be prepared.
Yeah.
If that comes. And I'm not sold on neither one of those cats.
No, I agree. We'll definitely have to change up some things. Here goes down. It'll be a dramatic change.
I got you.
Yeah.
AJ's on progress to start getting back to he's still in rehab, but he's about to hopefully he'll be out there soon, right?
Yep. And he also brought up too in his he had like a little mini presser, and he was just talking about how I guess the OC Downing was telling him that they're going to increase his route tree. So pretty much he's going to have more responsibilities and learn more routes. So that's pretty much he has a somewhat of a tall task, but we all know AJ. He'll be able to perform and step up to the plate and do what he has to do with that part. And also with the kicker, I'm a little nervous about our kicker situation. You know, we brought in a guy, Tucker McMahon
and Blake Hobbill.
Yeah, the rookie guy. You know, I think Tucker was like 6 or 9 or something. I read he was in the mini camp like far as kicks. I think the farthest he kicked was like a 47, 48 yarder. But I'm a little nervous about the kicking situation. It seems like the last couple of years, our kicker and even our special teams overall just hasn't really been up to par. Right. So hopefully they have a game plan going into training camp as to what they want to do, and do some evaluation on that part.
We don't have a Lambo.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not at all.
As long as he can stay healthy. Hey, I got a question for you guys before we get out of here. So I think a big part of you guys' running game, and I think this was a really underlooked part, was Corey Davis's ability to block from the wide receiver position. Like, how do you guys think you overcome that? Because I understand you got AJ, but he's not nearly, the blocker that Corey Davis was in the open field there that can, kind of spark some of the longer runs from Derrick Henry. And a lot of fans don't see that, but, I'm one that kind of watch everything. So, a lot of the long runs from Derrick Henry is because Corey Davis is out there blocking on the edge. So how do you guys think you can, come back from that? Or do you think, my man is a good fit there for picking up for Corey Davis?
You're talking about Julio, right?
Julio.
I mean, hey, he's gonna have to do what he has to do. He knows that his targets might significantly decrease. He knows that, but he's been known to be a solid blocker, like not a phenomenal, but he's got to do what he's got to do to win a championship. That's why these players win the game, and I think behind the scenes, John Robinson and Vrabel had that conversation with him, like, hey, we need you to block, because they knew the ability that we had in Corey Davis and his blocking ability, right? So I think he'll do fine. But to just kind of answer your question, we have a modern day Lorenzo Neal on our team. We got Kari Blasingame.
Blasingame,
you know what I'm saying? Like, he definitely does not get a lot of credit for the work that he puts in to make sure that Derrick Henry is busting in and out, or out and in, whatever he's got, or running over you. You know what I mean? Like, he has a lot to do with that. So I feel like he needs to get his credit there. But I feel like we'll be fine in that spectrum. I feel like just having him out there as decoys, like just putting them in different positions, it's going to open up a little more creativity in our running scheme. Like, there's not too many ways you get creative in your running scheme, but we're going to be able to have some options. If that answers your question, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
What about you, Ian?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, like everything you just stated, and plus too, I think you won't see a lot of 8-9 man boxes as much. So I think he'll have a little bit more room to get in those open lanes to get a lot of yardage. And like Two Tone said, AJ and Julio, like those guys, they really, I'm sure once they get in those meetings and get into training camp, it's gonna be hawked on them. Like, you got to block. We have to do what we have to do to be sure that King Henry, can get his yards, get his plus 10s. So I think with the change a little bit, like getting creative with the running scheme, as well as probably won't be as many men in the box. He'll definitely have more opportunity to get through the open lanes and do what he have to do without worrying about how much or how less the running back, the receivers, and then we'll block them.
Okay.
Right on, man. And then your brother asked a question. He said, "Should we bring back Delaney Walker?" I'm gonna say his time has already came. I just maybe somewhere down the line somebody else might pick him. But as far as we go, I just think that I don't think he wants to be tight, to be honest, because the season he got hurt, when he broke his ankle, man, he was kind of salty at the end of the season, right?
Yep.
He kind of got sour grapes As far as how he felt about the organization, he just didn't really. You could just tell by his actions, and he had some comments to say that really weren't too bold, but you can sense and hear the sarcasm in it. So I would disagree on that one.
And I also think too he was a little salty behind Mariota getting benched for Tannehill. Yeah, that was I think that was definitely a thorn in his side once that happened. And like I said, after all that happened and transpired, like the injury and everything, the writing was on the wall.
I think AJ Brown was too, but then he started getting numbers. And
but AJ, right? He get numbers
coming to him. He was like, "All right, man, let's go."
yeah.
But yeah, man. Hey, I think it's been a great show. I think that about wraps things up, man. Hey, salute to y'all, gentlemen. Thank you again, for coming in, blessing the show with y'all's knowledge and presence. Hey, bro, tell the folks where they can find you on Twitter, bro.
Oh yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Mr., which is MYSTA_K, and I'm there, Jags fan for sure.
And then on Facebook too, that's where you do your mock draft stuff, right?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook. It's just my first name, last name, so Kivi, Kivi, and then last name Dennis. Yep, and, you send me a friend request and we'll get you in on the mock draft for sure. Even Big O usually drafts for the Titans, but if you guys want to draft for another team, definitely you're welcome to draft for any other team that I don't have fans for.
For sure, man. Salute to Big O, man. He set this whole thing up, man. So hope you guys enjoyed the show, folks, and just had a good time and got to hear a different perspective from the AFC South, from the Jacksonville Jaguars organization. And then Ian, man, where can the folks find you on Twitter, bro?
You can find me on Twitter at I_Teezy, which is TEEZY06. And also I'm on Facebook at IAN Tally, TALLEY. I'm just on there in the wind.
For sure, man. And on Saturday, D Weez and I are planning to do another live show. So he should be back in the building on Saturday. I know y'all folks are missing D Weez. I'm missing my bro, man. That's my A1 right there. That's my guy.
Yeah.
I know he wanted to be here tonight, but he's got a lot going on, man. He's a part of a lot of different things. He's a busybody, man. So salute to him, and he'll be on soon with us. But hey, until next time, folks. You know the drill. It's Titan Gang or don't bang. We're always doing our thing, representing for Titan Nation. Always just bringing positivity in the direction of our organization. Negativity is contagious. We don't want that coming our way. So, hey, good luck to y'all this season, man. We'll have you on the show soon again. Maybe some post-game, pre-game stuff. But until next time, man. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Gets to spend some time with the family and the friends. Right? It's Father's Day weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to all the fathers.
All right, cool. Hey, man, if y'all gentlemen don't mind hanging tight for a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and end the show. But if y'all can hang tight, man, I'd appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.